Hello, this is Keat Cars, and I am playing Kerbal Space Program, as you can see. And today I'm going to be doing a video on how I get into orbit with my space plane, which is the Kerbal Express, and here she is. So as you can see, it's a rather large plane. Don't exactly remember the exact part count, but got a small solar sailor in there with a very efficient ion engine with very large solar panels, a lot of batteries, a ton of food because I have TAC life support. As you can see, I have a long time with this. So, other than that, pretty much everything is B9 except for some of the stuff on here. And that right there. So, let's get going. Okay, I'm going to activate the brakes. Those are working. Check my... Sorry about that noise. I'm going to check my servo for my pod. Make sure that's working correctly. Put it down. And lock it. Okay, I can shut that. Test lights. Okay, shut that down. Test all my flight control surfaces. Test my docking port since I probably will be going to the space station if you guys ask for it in the comments. Okay, close that up. And I'm going to get inside the cockpit and set up my computer so I don't have to do it later. Don't worry about his computers, but I use these all the time, so I'm going to put these in nav, and no, I'm going to do info, and altitude, info, and reserves. The reason it says there isn't any is because I haven't activated the stage that they're on, as you can see right there. So, without doing anything else, and I'm going to get out of the cockpit and take off the brakes and start up the engines. So if I remember correctly, this plane orbits at this plane takes off at about 200 meters per second, so it's going to take a little while. So that reminds me that I don't turn on the JADOs until after I clear the runway. Ooh, that was kind of weird. So I've already checked everything, make sure everything works. checked that last time, and everything stays the same between launches. So, I gotta turn my stuff on though in here. And let's get down to the brakes. So the plane stops. PFD. Orbitals. Atmosphere. Altitude. And reserves. Brakes off. Engines at full. And... So... I'm going to turn off the sound for a little bit. I'm going to turn the sound back on so you guys can enjoy the sounds of these engines winding up, because they sound great. And as you can see, the JATO units are right there. That's probably why the nose came up so dramatically. Time to lock my attitude. can see as we get up, the plane starts to become a little bit more reactive to the roll, which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. And it also doesn't help that for some reason my RCS is working, so I'll have to reload the game for that, which isn't hard. I just have to get to the game back into. As you can see, the columns are slowly getting bigger, these exhaust fans. was higher up then, and hopefully this should fix my RCS issue. Yes, it did. So I should check my RCS. everything just went haywire, which is actually a good thing, because now if I get into my cockpit, I can look at my props. I can look at my pulses, and as soon as it goes above a as soon as it goes above 70, I can get out of the atmosphere with this. So I'm going to go up to 80 degrees, bring my nose up there. Make sure I'm keeping my propellant's doing good. That's my RCS propellant, by the way. Which is the stuff you can see shooting out of my front window. Okay, we are in space, but I'm going to let it go up to 90 just for the sake of it. To give this probe that I have in the back some room to move around in the before it smacks into the atmosphere by accident. Since it is an ion engine, it won't have very much thrust to begin with. So right now, all we have to do is wait, because it's just climbing its way out of the atmosphere right now. So I'm going to set up my maneuver modes to get into orbit. So it's not quite autopilot. The closest thing I have to autopilot right now is MacJeb, and I won't be using him for the flight. Might use him for the other flights, but for now I'm just going to be using my own controls and the maneuver nodes to get things done. Gotta bring the nose of the plane down. As you can see, there's some RCS jets in the front of the ship right there. Very, very useful. Okay. As you can see from the bottom screen near the right here, the estimated burn time is 58 seconds. And as soon as that gets about halfway through, so about 30, I will hit my jets. So I'm going to make sure I have enough fuel and oxidizer to get into orbit, which I most definitely do. So here we go. My engine's just fired up. It's a little bit back heavy just because of the way the plane was made, but I can easily manage that with the RCS. So it's wanting to curve up a little bit when I'm in the gas. And we are in space right now, so but as soon as that maneuver node gets down to 0, I can shut off the engines and we should be in orbit. And the camera's going to do something funky when we do get into orbit, according to the game. Okay, we are almost done with our maneuvering node. Okay, I'm getting ready on the throttle. Turning it down a little bit to be more precise with the maneuver nodes. And I'm done. Because it started to go up for some reason. So we are in an orbit. Not a very good one, to say the least, but we are in an orbit. So I'm going to let the plane settle, and then I will show you. Okay, we are in orbit. I could stop the video, but I've decided, since we are not doing half bad on time, I mean, it has been 30 minutes, but I will show you how I'm going to jettison the spacecraft. So I'm going to turn on my Now I won't turn on the laser system, but I am going to take a crew out of here, probably. Oh crap. I need to get out of that mode just to make sure I don't accidentally stage anything. So I'm going to EVA camp free. I forgot to turn the lights on, but I'll turn them on as we're getting out. Okay, I'm going to switch over to the plane. Oh, I forgot, since these two are connected, I can turn the lights on from right here. Okay, the lights are on, so I'm going to turn on, I'm going to unlock the servo. Oh, looks like I never locked it, that's a bad thing. Tilt the spacecraft up so it doesn't get stuck. And get down here and decouple. And now this is a totally separate ship that I can turn my RCS back on it. And back out. Let's see if I can fly right next to this. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the other space group, not warp time. That would be not as good. It won't be bad, but it won't be as good. So I return the docking node back to uh-oh. Well, I'll have to fix that. And since there's no docking adapter on here, I'm going to get him out. And this can stay here until I want to rendezvous with it. And get him out. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to switch to this craft since I wasn't actually on it. Crew hatch, transfer to that one. I guess it's not letting me, so I'll just do that. Now I'm going to EVA him and jump. And since I don't think I have enough fuel to get to the space station because I had to carry up that rocket, and since this isn't a refueling, since this isn't a food mission, get him back in here, close that since I don't need it, and we will leave him in orbit. So, if you guys want to see the re-entry, comment and message on this and tell me if you want it. That's all I have for today. Have a good one.